We want to develop the widest range of movement experience by changing their intent. Okay, so again, we talked about the shortstop who, again, doesn't get very specific about their movements. They just go out there and they take balls on their forehand, they take routine balls, they take slow balls, they catch balls over their head, they take balls on the backhand and they turn double plays. And these guys are physically capable of getting on the mound and being excellent pitchers, at least in terms of their movement. So we're talking about second base here. We're talking about this stuff at the moment, the technical changes. These guys are pretty capable of doing that. So in terms of developing our pitches, how could we potentially do that? If we're developing the throwing athlete first, what sort of drills could we do that help? How could we change their intent to improve the movements that they make to be more like the final product that we're looking for? How could we do it? Anyone got any ideas? If we're trying to develop the widest range of movement experience by changing the intent, what sort of things could we do to change their movement experience?
Throw on the run, throwing the profile.
Yeah.
Just having maybe throwing on one knee.
Yep. Yep, sure. There was one thing that I didn't pull up here earlier that that would be good for you to see.
The big one we use with the state teams, Tony and I, Dave, we use the different arm angles.
Yep.
They come up, they finish their long toss program, wherever it wants,
Yep.
they come back into 60 or 90 feet.
Yep.
You just have to try different arm angles, just to see. So they can throw the ball on the ground, they can come along and pick it up, they can throw it behind them.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, just as long as they're doing something different.
Yep. And why is that good? How's that helping them?
Teaches them other movements.
Yeah, it teaches them the widest range of movement skills, doesn't it? So they're not necessarily just going to throw here all the time. They might throw some from here, some from here, some from here if they're really on the run. Give them a wide range of movement skills. That's what we're trying to do. We develop athleticism first. We develop throwers and athletes first before we develop the pitcher. Again, that doesn't mean we don't have them do pitching drills from a very young age, but we develop their throwing ability first. All right, now if I can just find a way to bring it up. We'll see how we go with this. I just want to talk about some throwing drills today, so these can be used for position players or for... All right, I've got a YouTube page. I was kind of hoping to make it the QBA YouTube page, but it wouldn't let me name it QBA for some reason, so my name's in there. But all of these things are linked on the QBA Facebook page. So this one here, for instance, is a series of throwing drills that basically are derived from... They're derived from... I might actually just... I'll keep playing that, but I'll turn that down so it's not quite as distracting. It's just a series of drills that go through, again, basically what we saw in our shortstops, what they do. Again, the shortstop goes to their left and make a throw. The shortstop goes to the backhand and make a throw. The shortstop takes the ball in a cut-off position, coming backwards, catches the ball and goes this way. So they do a whole bunch of different things. They throw off their right, look, they throw off their left leg. So we basically just made a whole bunch of different drills that simulates what a shortstop does in their development and then applied them to throwers in general and specifically to pitchers. All right, so there's a couple of different files on there. So this one's a tap and go. It's just about making sure that the rhythm and timing of the movement, again, the path of the ball is smooth, fluid and continuous. All right, so a tap and go is supposed to be tap the ball in your glove and then as soon as the ball comes out of your glove, it's accelerating towards a throw. That's all it is. So it's rotation through the trunk. It's not too complicated. Just tap it in your mitt and then accelerate for the throw. Give them a couple of, a little quick demonstration and then away they go. And there's a whole bunch of other ones and stuff that are in there. There's about 6 or 7 in a series, again, which just go through a wide range of movement skills for throwers to try.
Right here, this is really important that we teach all our coaches and younger coaches because I spoke about that video we're talking about,
yep.
Which is exactly what you're doing there.
Yep.
But until I saw that video, I used to teach
yep.
the giant under the chin. And on Saturday, we started our tap and go. And you've got some kids doing this sort of thing. And we all need to be aware of this. And because you've been talking about throwing here.
Yep.
but you haven't talked about what the arm path and what the ball's supposed to be doing. And I think that's really important. It's what we need to identify for all of us, so as we get our kids doing it right now. You know?
Yeah, and look, there is certainly some things that I like specifically, but again, in general, again, the process is largely outcome-based. We change their intent, we give them a whole bunch of drills and see which ones affect the movement change that we want. The question is, how do inexperienced coaches, maybe who don't have a degree in biomechanics or who don't have 15 years of experience at a high level, how do they identify what constitutes good mechanics or bad mechanics? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm saying this information.
Yep.
This is paramount that they all get this.
Yeah, these resources are up there. They're out there for people to have a look at, and I'm happy to go into. This is a conversation that could take a while, so I haven't necessarily got it into this. I'm happy to have more of these coaches education sessions throughout the course of the year. Identify a bunch of common errors that throwers make in the throwing movement, and then talk about them specifically and how we could address them. I'm happy to do that if you guys think that's a worthwhile process. But
I've never heard anyone talk about it until I saw that video, and actually until I see you on this video here.
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone talk about this. What it's supposed to be rather than.
Yeah. Now it doesn't matter, and to me again, it doesn't matter if you're throwing arm action. It doesn't matter if your throwing arm action is long or short. To me, it doesn't make any difference as long as the path of the ball is smooth, fluid, and continuous. I.e., you can be. Roger Clemens was a long time good pitcher. He was very short in through here, but he was efficient and he maintained the momentum of the ball. He developed all this force through his lower body, and he was able to continue that momentum of the baseball into the throw because the path of the ball was smooth and fluid and continuous. And these drills that we go through here are just coordination-based drills. They're just rhythm and timing. And it's about working on or finding a way to develop the coordination of the movement. So there's not a lot of tension there, but it's just making sure that the path, the arm path, the path of the ball more specifically, is smooth, fluid and continuous. And for me, that's the biggest key that we want to get to, the path of the ball, and make sure if they come up here and they stop, they've lost all of that momentum. They might as well just start in this position here and pitch from there, or throw from there, or whatever it is. And I remember for me as a catcher, I used to always get told, just take the ball to your ear and throw from there. So the first thing I used to do was take the ball out, my arm would be here waiting for my feet to get in position, and then I would throw from here. And I blew out my shoulder twice. There was probably a whole bunch of other reasons why, but I think it was largely technique based. If I had known this stuff, 20 years ago when I was in my playing days, my career might have been a different story. So this stuff can have a massive impact, and if we can get this stuff right, obviously everybody knows how important throwing is to all positions on the baseball field. So again, if this is a conversation you guys want to have in more detail later on, I'm happy to do that. But again, I'll give you guys certainly access to where you can find these drills. They're on the Facebook page pretty regularly. I rotate a whole bunch of them through, that sort of stuff. But I think this is a really good series of drills. And I didn't invent this stuff. Again, this came from the conversation that started at the MLB Academy, came from guys like Damien Shanahan, who's studying coaching and all that sort of stuff in Melbourne. Phil Dale, some of the other coaches, Dave Nilsson, contributed to all of these, and it's a good little series of drills. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it's just a variety of different drills that change your intent and give you, a slightly different feel that hopefully will increase your coordination, increase your rhythm and timing, and allow you to develop a more smooth, fluid, and efficient arm action. All right, and this is the sort of stuff that I think is more important that we focus on, rather than again just diving straight in and saying, all right, don't take your elbow here and do that. Right? This is changing their intent, not drawing attention necessarily to that stuff. It just means that you take them through a series of 6 drills. When you identify the movement change that you want, that's the drill that you focus on. That's the one that you use. All right, so in a bullpen routine, for instance, I'll take a pitcher when they're warming up. I'll have them start. I'll have them run through these 6 drills. If there's a particular movement change I'm thinking of that I want, when I run through those 6 drills with him, usually one of those 6 drills will address the movement change that I'm looking for. And when I identify the drill that has the movement effect that I'm looking for, that's the drill I focus on. That's it, perfect. All right, let's practice this one. We practice it a whole bunch. So let's say if, for instance, You know, there's a guy who's doing a hook 'em, which is this one, where you hook your foot in underneath and go straight through here. It's a good one for speeding up the arm action. You know, so you hook your foot in here, you've got to keep that toe locked in behind your knee, and then you drive to the plate so your hips go first. And then you can't separate your hands until your feet actually separate. Right? And then it means, because you're a little late to get going, it means the arm path is then fast. So you don't have time to go. Right? So again, you just run through a series of drill. When they get to this one, they go bam, arm path looks pretty good. All right, if that drill works for them, then I spend a little bit of time going over that drill a bit more. And then what I'll do is I'll use that drill and I'll do 3 to 1. I'll do 3 drills, so 3 hook'ems and 1 pitch. Usually when they go back to pitching and they go back to the mound, they'll go back to their slow old pitching movements, right? And I'll go back to being long and disconnected. All right, so then I'll get them to do 3 hook'ems and 1 pitch, 3 hook'ems and 1 pitch, and try and transfer the feeling that they have of the drill into the pitch, and do it 3 times, 3 and 1, 3 and 1. Then we go to 2 and 1, 2 and 1, then 1 to 1, and hopefully within a fairly short amount of time they can have that feeling in their normal pitching action. And within the space of potentially a half-hour session, you can clean up an arm action like that. In all honesty, I've seen some stuff really change quite quickly with this sort of stuff. Again, it's just a better focus than this other stuff that can take forever.
So, in regards to spreading the word, I guess my aim, my involvement with this program is more so, especially up to tonight's session, is to keep in regular contact with you guys as well as other coaches on the database to spread the word in regards to all these different moves, different drills, and we're going to keep on filming and keep on building our video resource to then just start spreading the word so we're all sort of on the same page in regards to. Sorry? Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, since the change over the database, you're slightly